In this video, we're doing lesson 1.5, which is all about arithmetic series. So remember, arithmetic meant we added the same number every time, and a series is where we take the sum of the terms in the sequence. So we're taking the list of numbers and adding them together. So there's a couple of ways that we can do this. And the first way is using that sigma, which was the big E. And that's probably most people's favorite. But we also have a formula that we'll get to. But you need to remember this formula. So AN, that's talking about one specific term, not all of them together, one specific term. We have the common difference times n minus 1 plus a1. And so we're going to use this formula in sigma. And then remember in that sigma, so this thing right here, we had n equals 1 at the bottom, and then at the top, however many terms we're adding together. So I'm going to let you off so in Advanced Algebra 2, remember I made you simplify. I made you distribute the common difference. But on these, I'm not going to make you do that. I'm going to let you just put in the formula without simplifying it. So what we're going to do is we're first going to come up with the explicit formula. So this is the formula, the sequence formula. So AN equals my common difference. So let's look here at my difference. What am I adding every time? We're adding 3. We have n minus 1 plus my a1 is 5. Yes, it's telling us n equals 8. That means that we're finding the sum of the first 8 terms. But I don't put that in for the formula. Remember, the formula has to keep an n, so it works for any number of terms. And then we're going to go to sigma. We're going to put n equals 1 in the bottom. We're going to put 8 in the top, and then we're just going to put in our formula. The only place that the 8 goes is up here. So, and remember, you can type in an n. It's just faster to hit this button right here and get your x. Okay, so in here we have 3. Then we're going to start our new parentheses, just like that. And we get 124. So this means that the sum of the first 8 terms is 124. All right, so let's look here. What's my common difference? 5 n minus 1 plus my a1, 10. So this is the formula that'll give me any term in the sequence. And if I want to find the sum, we're going to put n equals 1 on the bottom, 13, and then write in our formula. So that's going to find the sum of this sequence. Math 0. we get 520. So if I were to add 13 of these numbers together, the first 13, it should equal 520. We'll do number 3 together, and then you can do number 4 on your own. All right, what's the common difference? If you're not sure, remember you can take any term and subtract the one before it. We get -2. So here's my formula, my common difference. We're just going to leave n minus 1 plus 1. Now to find the sum. So we're finding the sum of the first 20. So the 20 goes there. So type that in your calculator. And we get -360. I want you to pause the video and try number 4 on your own. So your formula should be this. You had -2 for your difference, and you could have also done plus -6. That's the same thing as having -6. Oops. So the sum, n equals 1 on the bottom, 34. Then we had n minus 1, 6. So we had our formula, and if you did it correctly, this is what you should have gotten, -1,326. So this is the easiest, everybody's preferred way of finding the sum. But there is another way, there is another formula. And most of the time, a question like this, you're not going to just choose the formula. The formula is going to be used when you have a different type of question. Okay? And we will see some of those examples later on. So, remember, series is the sum. So here's the formula. Sn. So this means the sum of, if it's S5, the sum of the first 5 terms. S100 would be the sum of the first 100 terms. Equals, all right, it's n over 2 times A1 plus AN. N over 2 times A1 plus AN. And remember, n, that's the number of terms. A1 is your first term. So if we have, let's say it said find S5. Your n would be 5, right? You're finding the sum of the first 5 terms. Well, A5, that is only the 5th term. So your AN is your last term. And you'll have to use the AN formula. So we're going to have to refer back to this formula to get AN. This one does have more work, and I want you to be familiar with it, But I'm okay with you choosing sigma, you choosing this method, because it's way, way easier. But you still need to be familiar with this one. All right. So let's look and see what pieces of the formula we've got. If I can get it straight. Okay. So let's see. N. Well, N is going to be what? It's 19, because we're finding the sum of the first 19 terms. A1. What is A1? It's 2, first term. And then I have to find AN, or in this case, A19. So going back to our formula, we have our common difference, which is 2. And then in parentheses, 19 minus 1, plus my A1, which is also 2. And we get 38. So remember, for this part, we had to use the D times N minus 1 plus A1 formula. And that's all that we need to find the sum of the first 19 terms. So it's N over 2 times A1 plus AN. So 19 over 2 times 2 plus 38. And we get 380. Let's look at number 6. What is N? 25. What is my A1? -6. And then I also have to find A25. So the 25th term. So think of our formula. I'll put it back here for you. Should have done that before. My common difference is -13. If you're not sure on that, take any term and subtract the one before it. And we get -13. And then 25 minus 1 plus -6. And this is -318. So this -318, that's not a sum. That is only the 25th term. We have to find the sum of the first 25 terms. So it's N over 2 times A1 plus AN. We get -4050. Let's do some more examples. So I'm going to write the two big formulas for you there. So remember AN is DN minus 1 plus A1. And then the sum, N over 2, A1 plus AN. Okay. So number 5, what's my N? 22. Got it there. What's my A1? First term, 3. And what's we would do A sub 22. Okay, so we're going to have to go back to this formula right there. What's my common difference? 5. And then 22 minus 1 plus A1 we said was 3. And we get 108. So we're going to put that into the SN formula. N over 2 times A1 plus AN, or in this case it's A22, 108. And you should get 1,221. All right. I want you to pause the video and try number 6 on your own. All right, number 6. N equals 11. A1 equals 24. Then we have to find A11. So our difference was 7. Then we had 11 minus 1 plus 24. We got 94. If you didn't get those 3 parts right, you need to go back and look at some previous examples or look at your math. And so S11. We have N over 2, A1 plus AN equals 649. All right. Number 7 and 8 are just like before, but I want you to pick. Do you prefer sigma or do you prefer this method? Some people do prefer this. Most people prefer sigma. So I want you to answer 7 and 8 with whichever method you prefer. So pause the video and try that. Pick your method. Okay, so you should have worked these out. I'm not going to work them out. You should have paused the video and done them. And you should have got negative 301 and then 765. If you didn't get that, then you need to go back and check your math and see if you can find a mistake. Now I'm going to get to some examples where the SN formula has to be used. You cannot answer these. These are like missing parts of the formula, not just finding the sum, where you have to use that formula. So let's look and see what we've got. We're finding we're finding the number of terms. We're finding n in the series. Okay, we can't use sigma here. So let's look back. Our formula Sn, n over 2, a1 plus an. So let's see what we have. We have Sn. We do not have n. That's what we're finding. We have a1 and we have an. This is going to be pretty easy. We have everything we need except for the part that the problem is asking us to find. We don't have any extra stuff to find on top of that. So Sn is 468. So the sum, we got a sum, we just need to know how many terms we added together. N over 2 times 12 plus 92. So 12 plus 92 is 104. So for this step, you have a couple options. You can go ahead and do 104 over 2. 104 divided by 2. That's just kind of the way the math works. This is the same thing as having 104 over 2, which is 52. So this is really 52n. And then if we divide both sides by 52, we get n equals 9. You could have divided both sides by 104 and then turned around and multiplied by 2. That would have worked as well. Try number 10. Pause the video, work on this one yourself. All right. So Sn is 150. And then A1 plus An. Would be 60. We can go ahead and do this 60 over 2. We get 30. So 30n. And then if we divide both sides by 30, we get n equals 5. We got 2 more examples. So these are similar, except this time we have the n. We do not have an. All right, so let's fill in the parts that we've got. All right, so let's see. Here's the formula. We know Sn. We know the n this time. We know A1. And we do not know An. Well, this is 6. So these two things are being multiplied. If I want to get rid of the 6, I need to divide both sides by 6. And we get negative 61 equals negative 3 plus an. And then to get an by itself, I need to add 3 to both sides. And that gives us negative 58 equals an. Number 14. This time we're finding a1. We've got an. Process won't be any different on this one. So Sn we know is 1,140. We have n over 2 times a1 we don't know, plus an we do know. This is 2.5 right there. Oops. So we could divide both sides by 2.5. And that gives us 456 equals a1 plus 132. And then we need to subtract 132 from both sides. And that gives us 324. If you have any questions, please ask for help. Have a great day.